Hey guys, Darcy here, and what we're going to go over today is the last video of a 6-part series, a mix series. So what we've been doing in the last 5 videos, we started off with this artist, A.P.E.X, a rapper. It's my first time meeting him, and we wanted to go through the whole journey from interviewing through completing a mix on a song. And I wanted to show you that whole customer experience because, if this is your first video seeing this, I had it in my mind that sometimes, you want to hire somebody for this type of stuff, but you don't have the experience to know what it's like. And so I wanted to basically give everyone a kind of like a baseline for what it's like if you were to work with me and things that you might see with the people you would work with. So even if you're not working with myself, you're looking to work with X engineer that through somebody or whatnot, that you get some ideas, some levels of expectations of service, of the kinds of conversations that might happen. Not only we talk about the mix, but we talk about other things, about the recording and whatnot, and even music. And obviously not every experience, nor with myself, is going to be as in-depth as what we might do in this video every single time, but it's a good idea as to what would happen. So what I want to do is jump into the mix, and in this video we're going to go over the changes made from the first version of the mix and that you saw in video 4, and then the final version. Really, the only major difference is that he was happy with the mix, but he wasn't happy with his performance in his recording. He wanted to re-record it, so he went away and he re-recorded it. And we have 2 versions in this track, so I can bring up the old one. And the thing that was different between this one and the other one, not just in the performance, but was also the fact that he repositioned himself on the mic. He moved a little bit and changed the character of his voice and improved the track, but it required me to make some changes. So first off, let's pull up the mix console here. I'm going to disable everything in this, and I'm going to enable everything over here. I'm going to turn on the oxide tape, and I want you to listen to the original version. So we'll just bring this up and put this like a bar out from the first drop. So let's take a listen to it.
My flow's sicker than R. Kelly. Better believe I've been bar heavy. I'm not the type of guy that you would call deadly, cause you can't call shit when you're gone already. And my verses hit like a verses with Mike Tyson. When he's in his prime and pissed like a pissed off actor. I can flip the scripts like a goddamn rat. The cost get worth a diss. Hot damn boy, call me Santa with the raps.
Overall, pretty good. There's some things I noticed in there, some noise problems and whatnot. This was recorded all on a AT2020 USB microphone, so there's going to be limitations. But so anyways, he re-recorded, and it helped improve things. So let's take a listen to what that sounded like. So let's re-enable all of this, and after we listen to it, I'll go over some of these changes.
My flow's sicker than R. Kelly. Better believe I've been bar heavy. I'm not the type of guy that you would call deadly, cause you can't call shit when you're gone already. And my verses hit like a verses with Mike Tyson. When he's in his prime and pissed like a pissed off actor. I can flip the scripts like a goddamn rat. The cost get worth a diss. Hot damn boy, call me Santa with the raps. Everybody begin.
So there's a bunch of changes that happen with this version of it. And it would be great if I actually played the real version. I'm like, something sounded off here. I still have it muted, and I played the old version unmuted, and I'm like, that sounded dark and weird. So let's do that again. I do this stuff raw. I do this stuff real. I don't really make a lot of edits, so if I make mistakes, you get to see them. So anyways, let's hide that vocal. I don't want to see that vocal no more. All right, listen to the re-recorded one with all the plugins on and it not muted.
My flow's sicker than R. Kelly. Better believe I've been bar heavy. I'm not the type of guy that you would call deadly, cause you can't call shit when you're gone already. Get my verses hit like a verses with Mike Tyson. When he's in his prime and pissed like a pissed off actor. I can flip the scripts like a goddamn rat. The cost get worth a diss. Hot damn boy, call me Santa with the raps. Everybody.
Much better. All right, so let's go over what some of these changes are in this one. Actually, sorry, one thing to note before I go into the actual plugins. Other things that I also had to do with this that were similar to the other one, I'll bring back the other one, that you'll see is in both of these tracks, if I bring these both up and make both of these pretty big, let's just do something like this. hit the E. Okay. So something that we'll notice is that, there's a bunch of different edits made here. I did a bunch of cutting of different sounds. I would bring down the volume on some of the harsh syllables that he had in this recording that weren't in the other one. I made changes to similar changes in terms of cutting out all of the breaths and unnecessary noises in the parts that was like a breakdown. And then something else I also did, if I look at the warps, I lined up things like words on in the last part. The rhymes were a little ahead, a little behind sometimes, just a touch when it came to hitting the pocket. So I lined some certain things up with the snare just to feel more in pocket. Just small edits and stuff like that were made. These are things that are just part of making a good mix by focusing on the edit. It's part of the service. At least I hope it's part of the service that you're going to get from whoever you're working with, because it really goes a long way to making things sound good. There's only so far a plugin can go when parts of the performance itself are off, and small things that the artist, that they're not perfect, that you just gotta adjust and fix that are within your means. So anyways, let's take a look at this chain. So as I said, he repositioned himself on the mic, and that changed the character of his voice, and especially with something like the USB AT2020. The microphone, it's good, but it's like I don't know if it's the capsule that the what's it called? I keep thinking the word diameter, but it's not that. It's the diaphragm that you speak into. Is it diaphragm? Whatever it's called. Basically what you're speaking into in the microphone, its pickup tends to be very sensitive to where you position yourself. I don't feel like it's as equal when you get a little bit off axis. There's a bit of different coloration in the sound, and it's a USB microphone, which they tend to be 16-bit, which means there's more noise, and the converters sometimes aren't that good. So it just tends to be that it's not going to be as clean and transparent as a more expensive microphone. So when I had put it into the original chain, one of the things that was in the original chain that was very prominent to the sound was using the Lindell 80 channel strip, which was basically like a Neve 1073 kind of clone idea. And I also did have the Neve preamp from UAD in here to bring out some character. But when I had the Lindell 80 in on this new vocal, it just didn't sound right. I didn't like the way it sounded at all. It just it had to go. So I had to replace it with the SSL 9000J, newer SSL plugin for the Plugin Alliance package. So I ended up liking just the way this sounded, far more clear, transparent, more appropriate for the voice. But let's go through this chain because I think that would be interesting. Let's disable everything and kind of walk it one by one. So first thing at the gate, we're putting it through the tape saturation. It's throughout the entire mix. And then we're going to go into, we have the C1 gate. So the thing I like about this gate is I like using it in expansion mode. And then what happens is when the voice kind of passes this threshold where it kind of has a little bit of a harsh edge here. When it passes that, it's going to start, gating the voice. But instead of it being like a hard gate where it's just 100%, once it gets past this point, it just cuts out the sound. It's smooth and pushing it down slowly. So when you have breaths that are really harsh, it'll push them down more because they tend to be much quieter than the actual rapping. But sometimes in between the words, if you get it just in the right place, it'll push the tail ends of words and the beginnings of like lip smacking in words. It'll push them down just a little bit, but not a whole lot, and it'll just kind of make it feel a little cleaner. This is a really good technique that I like to use when you got that fast rapping, when it's not like singing where you have all this space between the words, to make edits. It starts to become like very cumbersome. Well, this is something that I find beneficial. Let's play this and we'll see what happens when we turn it on.
Pissed off after I can flip the scripts like a goddamn rat.
Actually, to make this even more prominent, I'm going to mute all the music and then we'll listen to the vocal solo.
Pissed off after I can flip the scripts like a goddamn rat. Because you get worth the diss. Hot damn boy, call me Santa with the raps ever.
So like that, hot damn boy. So let's take a listen.
Hot damn boy, call me goddamn rat.
Oh, I'm going to put more markers in here so I can Going quarter notes.
Chicken with the diss. Hot damn boy, call me Santa with the raps. Everybody. Chicken with the diss. Hot damn boy, call me Santa with the raps. Everybody. Chicken with the diss. Hot damn boy, call me.
It's just like little subtle things, just cleaning it up. There's some certain areas in this track where it does even more work. Then next thing, we have noise in this mix because, again, I said the AT2020. So we have RX denoise to help deal with some of that problem.
Chicken with the diss. Hot damn boy, call me Santa with the raps. Everybody being bad, but some cold up in the sack. I remember back when I was rapping in the cul-de-sac, and the neighbors got chills because I was.
It does a good job of cutting out a lot of that noise without completely squashing the quality of the voice. And it's just taking it a level further, bringing it closer to being less of a USB microphone. Then we're going to add in the Neve preamp.
Chicken with the diss. Hot damn boy, call me Santa with the raps. Everybody being bad, but some cold up in the sack. I remember back when I was rapping in the cul-de-sac, and the neighbors got.
And that just makes it more present, more forward. And it's just, it's what Neve does. Now we're going to bring in the SSL 9000, which is going to be a channel strip. It does some high passing, some compression, some EQ.
Chicken with the diss. Hot damn boy, call me Santa with the raps. Everybody being bad, but some cold up in the sack. I remember back when I was rapping in the cul-de-sac, and the neighbors got chills because I was the coldest stacked.
So clean up some low end there. But it does make it more sibilant, so we bring in the sibilance plugin from Waves.
Chicken with the diss. Hot damn boy, call me Santa with the raps. Everybody being bad, but some cold up in the sack. I remember back when I was rapping in the.
Then we're going to do a little bit more de-essing with the Brainworks. What's this one called? The dynamic EQ. I just wasn't feeling like adding more of the sibilance was getting it. Some of the frequencies are a little different, and that sibilance plugin is great for solving a simple problem. But sometimes when it's outside of its capability, you gotta get something else. So this is what I decided to use.
Chicken with the diss. Hot damn boy, call me Santa with the raps. Everybody being bad, but some cold up in the sack. I remember back when I was.
And it's doing a little bit more than just getting de-essing. It's hitting some other harsher sibilance. And then I have two more EQ plugins. We're doing some dynamic EQ and regular EQ against mostly the low end in this voice. So let's play this and I'll turn them on.
Chicken with the diss. Hot damn boy, call me Santa with the raps. Everybody being bad, but some cold up in the sack. I remember back when I was rapping in the cul-de-sac, and the neighbors got chills because I was the coldest stacked. I'ma drop it like I couldn't keep it up, even though.
So yeah, mostly this is just like trying to handle the low end. And the thing I like about this plugin, this is F6 from Waves. It's like an emulation towards something like the what's called the Pro Q3 from FabFilter, in the sense that you're doing EQ, but you can also do dynamic EQ at the same time. So let's break this down real quick for somebody who's not familiar with what dynamic EQ is. So essentially, let's say we look at this frequency here, this band where 69 hertz, right? We're bringing it down by 2.1 decibels all the time. So no matter how this sounds, that EQ is getting ducked. But then we have times where when the sound gets over negative 36 decibels, and you'll see that this meter will show you how much loud it's getting, we can bring it down by the amount of 8.7 decibels with an attack. This is using compressor terms here, with an attack of 3 milliseconds and a release of 183 milliseconds. So that basically means when it gets over 37.6, we're going to basically hit it right away and start compressing it, and we're going to release a little slowly. Now, another way of thinking about this with dynamic EQ and how does it work, imagine essentially we're kind of automating the actual amount of negative gain that we're adding based on how the signal is coming through. So when the signal gets louder, we turn it down up to a certain amount, which is negative 8.7, additional to our negative 2.1. So do the math, that's what, 10.8 decibels maximum amount that it can go down. And how fast we do that and how slow we come back is what those other settings mean. But if the signal is barely getting over, we're going to tuck it down a little bit. When the signal gets over a lot, we tuck it down even more, and we come back basically in response to how loud the signal is coming through. So if you were just to EQ that all out all the time, then essentially sometimes it will sound thin. This way you have a better chance when you get the settings right for it to really duck it down when it's really heavy, and then kind of come back and be lesser when it's not that heavy. And that's just like a really powerful way of approaching it. So let's take a listen to what this does.
Chicken with the diss. Hot damn boy, call me Santa with the raps. Everybody being bad, but some cold up in the sack. I remember back when I was rapping. was the coldest act. I'ma drop it like I couldn't keep it up. Even though I keep it up like I'm a victim in the slums. You can witness how I'm doing what I'm feeling.
So you can see it's going up and down more based off what's on the threshold. And that's really what we're trying to do to control it. Couple of things that we did to the vocals. The A.P.E.X limiter was added in. That's just to basically, when the vocals got to a certain point where certain phrases were too much, I'm bringing the music back in. We would just completely squash it because some phrases were just a couple, syllables were really harsh and it was peaking out as you're turning up the master and making it louder. So we just handled that. So see what this does here.
Chicken worth the diss. Hot damn boy, call me Santa with the raps. Everybody being bad, wasn't cold up in the sack. I remember back when I was rapping in the coldest sack, and the neighbors got chills cause I was the coldest act. I'ma drop it.
So yeah, certain phrases here and there, basically the in, when it gets over that amount, just gets stuck back down. And then the last thing I think I did that was different, I mean, there's probably tiny EQ moves I don't remember right now, but for the pitch down, pitched up vocals, essentially I have these vocals sent to ascend, and we're basically doing a devil and angel kind of vibe. We have the A1 stereo control, which I think I added at this last phase, and it's essentially making the vocals wide in both scenarios, making them both 125% or basically 25% louder than they were originally. But then I'm panning one a little left 20, the other one right 10, just to give it that like either shoulder kind of vibe, so that way we're getting that feeling that like it's surrounding you. So if we go and we find a part where these are both being used, let's see, do we have a better spot than this? So right about here, we'll see that essentially it'll feel like it's going back and forth around you a little bit.
F you weak bitch, ooh, I really need to chill now. I've been rising higher than a mouthful of pills now. Percocet, tell me how you feel now. This my prime, but I ain't who you wanna grill now.
So if I were to mute the music again,
F you weak bitch, ooh, I really need to chill now. I've been rising higher than a mouthful of pills now. Percocet, tell me how you feel now. This my prime, but I ain't who you wanna grill now. Drop that.
It's just small touches, but that's what matters at the end of the day. So yeah, that's another technique where if you don't actually have this plugin, it's a free one. If you don't have something that's paid and better, then get this one, because there are plenty of plugins, and I have a video on this where you can go and you can make things wider, but not all the time can you make them wider and then pan them at the same time, and that's why I like this one. You don't use it all the time, but when you need it, it's great that you have it. And I think it really kind of covers the majority of the changes. Really, it was a scenario where we had a mix, it was established, but the client came back and said, hey, I want to re-record my vocals. Here's a new version. And that new recorded vocal comes back with a bit of a different texture and vibe, and you got to work with it, and you got to make adjustments and realize that maybe the original recording you like a lot, but you got to get over that and work with the new one, because it was a better performance, and you just had to get the right chain to take advantage of that. So anyways, hopefully you found this helpful. If you've watched the other videos in this series, I appreciate that. Appreciate you watching all the way through this. If you haven't seen those other videos, definitely go and see the link in the bio. I'll link up the playlist there. Anyways, guys, thank you and peace. I'm out.